Welcome to the energy update for the third quarter lunar week, starring the energetics of Capricorn. Hooray! So we're here at this point in the lunar cycle to end things. This is the ending of the Aries lunar cycle that started on March 23rd, 2020. Here we are, the week of April 14th through the 21st, 2020, to end the lunar cycle with the power of the third quarter Capricorn moon. This moon is known as the miser's moon. Haha! So this is the time to take action, to rest, reflect, surrender, lay down your sword, and review the last 3 weeks of this Aries lunar cycle that actually started the 2020 zodiac year. And the 2020 zodiac year started at 4 degrees Aries, and the Sabian symbol is a triangle with wings. And so what this means, this symbol is about bhakti love. It's about devotion, walking the spirit path of the heart. And that's what we're being called as a collective to do. That's what's written in the stars. So I'm very excited for this zodiac year of 2020 to embrace, embody, and be filled up with the bhakti level of love and devotion from soul. Sounds so beautiful. And so here we are at the ending of this first of 13 lunar cycles of the 2020 zodiac year. And we are being guided through the vibration of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. And very interesting this week that the Capricorn miser's moon appears at 25 degrees, which is smack dab in the middle of that energetics of the 2012 or the January 12th, 2020 kaboom of Pluto and Saturn. I'm sure you all are still really ricocheting through that energy of when Pluto and Saturn were exact conjunction, which is going to pretty much take an era to unwind and unravel. So here we have the moon passing through that energetic and sits between Pluto and Jupiter now, with Pallas Athena at 27 degrees. So she is hanging out, the goddess of wisdom, saying, as you move through this energetic, I'll be there with you to take you moving into Aquarius, where you will meet the ruler of a Capricorn, which is Saturn, moving towards Mars. And so I found this really interesting as this kind of occulting vibration. Here we're at like the moon is growing dimmer and dimmer of the light. And that means that the energy or the magnetic pull is pulling you inward. Because at the beginning of a lunar cycle, it's a dark moon, and it's the time when things get either conceived or they wash away. So it's a time of new beginnings. And so that dark time is deep inside the womb. You set that energetic free and it goes out and leaves the womb and gets to its fullness as the full moon, which is the external vibration of you. But after the full moon, it goes into the waning cycle, which gets magnetically pulled back inward so that you can start the process again. So the third quarter week is a waning square between the Aries sun and the Capricorn moon this time around. And so that's the vibration that you get to find yourself in. So grab your natal chart, find your Aries ruled house where this all started, and now see how it relates to your Capricorn ruled house. Now, if you're really adept at astrology and you've got your lunar lady's cap on, you're also going to be looking at your first house and your 10th house to see what goes there. Take it one step further, look at your natal Mars and your natal Saturn. And this starts to develop the beautiful dramatic play that can be our lives. And we look at it very consciously through the movement of the planets. And so here we have the moon occulting Pluto, which likes that energy, and Jupiter, which wants to expand and grow, and it's heading towards Aquarius. And so with Pallas Athena, this is what I like to do. I like to look at the Sabian symbols, the Omega and Chandra symbols, to get a different understanding, a new script, to understand what's the meaning of these planets as they move through these constellations. Now, interesting enough, when we look at Pallas Athena, she's, goddess of wisdom, and she's holding these keys that say, hey, I want to help you unlock the next steps. And so when you go to my blog post at lunarladies.com, you'll read more about what Pallas Athena is emanating and holding for you. And so you bring that in deep inside oneself this week, and you'll discover, because you can trust the voice that's inside of you, that's the one that's connected to your divine I am presence. Now, interesting as well, because I look at the whole divine cosmos to see what else is happening. Now, Nibiru is at 24 degrees Taurus, right? We're heading towards that Taurus new moon next week. And so here we have Nibiru starting to get into the vibration of the Pleiades. And the Sabian symbol for 24 degrees Taurus is a vast park. And so I looked at that and started to feel into it. And I really enjoyed what I started to experience in the center of my head, my crystal palace. And here we are, and having a global experience where we're in this shelter in place, we're quarantined, we're not going out, we're not heading out to the parks and connecting and communing with our fellow human beings. And so the Nibiru energy, now I'm going to take you into my Taoist points of view through my sound healing education. Now, in sound healing, the vibration of Nibiru is about the original human essence. So when I see Nibiru and I start to take a look at where is it at in the cosmos right now, what I'm tuning into is that original human divine essence. So if I'm doing a sound healing session and I have the sun fork and the Nibiru fork, I'm doing psychic surgery. I'm getting us back to the original divine essence of humanity, that six-dimensional blueprint. And I'm going to help my client on the table recalibrate to that level. So when I look at Nibiru, as I'm reading the planetary vibrations through following the moon, is Nibiru says, you know, this symbol of a vast park is about what happens when we have a communal experience of relaxation and peace. It's about this collective enjoyment. And that's where that original essence of our humanity is really vibrating in its essence, its original six-dimensional blueprint. So I want to give everyone a sense of hope, as that's where we're moving towards, or even returning to. This collective enjoyment through relaxation and peace. So this is what you can do this week as you bring that in and really feel it. And Capricorn says, feel it to the bones. Feel this feeling of collective enjoyment, relaxation, and peace. And when you do, what you're doing is you're uploading to the collective cloud of humanity that's a possibility, that's what we vibe with, that's what we resonate with as a human species, a collective enjoyment of being together, relaxing, and this feeling of calm and peace. And so the more you feel that, the more you're uploading that and upgrading the collective experience of what's possible. So I really got excited about that. So now let's leave the moon's vibration and that beautiful harmonic tone from Nibiru and Taurus, because it's giving that earth harmonics to the Capricorn experience of the moon with Pluto and Jupiter of House Athena. Now let's move over to the Aries sun. What's happening with the Aries sun at 25 degrees? Well, guess who's sitting with the Aries sun, which I totally love, is Eris, the goddess of discord. She is our little Maleficent sitting over there. But I really love the goddess of discord because she's the one not afraid to point out the pink elephant in the room. So I really admire her ability to just be so courageous and strong. So I love Eris energy. So when we look at Eris, her Sabian symbol at 23 degrees, which is a number of alchemy, says that she is the cornucopia, the wind blowing through billowing curtains, forming into the shape of a cornucopia. And I could imagine that experience like no tomorrow. Right? And I could stay there for a long time. And so what this symbol and what the goddess of discord is saying, that, you know, love is at work here, and love comes in to reshape things. And what the goddess of discord is bringing to our collective experience through Aries, which is who am I, is Pneuma. And Pneuma, and it's funny with this collective experience of what I like to call cousin Vinny, and we're having pneumonia type symptoms, but pneuma, spelled the same, is spirit in Greek. And so what this the symbol that the goddess of discord is bringing through is that if one is filled with spirit, one then brings in this new shape. This new shape is the shape of abundance. And this abundance is there for everyone, and it's connected to who we really are, which is now showing up as spirit. And so this is where you want to find yourself. Now, Aries sun is traveling right in that frequency at 25 degrees. And so what Aries starts to bring to us is that Aries says, when you step out of the dark, and you go out, it's dark, and you go out, or someone opens the shades and your eyes are like, oh my God, it's a little too bright, right? So Aries sun is saying, it's going to take some time to adjust to this new way, this new world, this more light, this opportunity to really live from your spiritual place, walking the path of the devotee, the bhakti love vibration, collective enjoyment, relaxation, and peace. When we have not been allowed or remember, or we've been living in a whole different type of imprisonment and limitation around lack and fear. And so there's an adjustment period. Right? And what I found this so interesting is that we have to let our eyes adjust. We have to go look at it and maybe like step back a little bit, look at it again until our pupils dilate, right? So that we don't get overwhelmed by the sudden vast shift in consciousness. So we have this vast shift in our physical experience of the world, but we have to adapt and move into a new consciousness that can support a world that is really coming online. So big shifts are not easy, but that's okay. We're here as warriors. We can handle it. And you have to let our eyes, or that which we perceive as reality, to adjust. And the goddess of discord says, hey, it's okay. What it's suggesting to is peace, relaxation, collective enjoyment, that Aquarius energy, the communal energy, as let yourself be filled into a new form that's coming from the vibration of spirit, which is about abundance, and love is a power that can change and shift anything. And so that's what we are being guided towards. Now, it's very interesting too, with the Aries sun saying adaptability. Let yourself have a moment to let your eyes adjust. Now, guess who's coming for an 18-month visit in the end of May is a nodal shift change. We're moving from the North Node in Cancer, the South Node in Capricorn, and we're moving towards the North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius. Gemini is our mind. Curious messenger, here we go. And with that, and what is one of Gemini's superhero powers is adaptability, flexibility. And it first starts in the mind. It starts in the realm of thought, which is vast. And then it moves into words, spoken words, which then turn into everyday behaviors. And that's how we're going to make a shift, moving into this beautiful new possibility that is available for anyone who wants to or knows how to tune in. And so the more of us who are already practicing this higher way of being, continue practicing it, up the game, because you're uploading to the collective cloud that then will be available to the masses to help them. So we don't want to red pill our friends who aren't awake. We want to let them adjust slowly and come into and start to readjust the way that they live, so that they're vibing with a more, what I like to say, a pod conscious mind. All for one, one for all. Namaste. The God in me bows to the God of you. What's good for you is good for me, right? So then we start to adjust the way that we are to ourselves, and then the way we begin to behave in a new vibration that is supportive of the pod. And guess what happens when dolphins get together, right? You're never going to find just one dolphin. You're going to find multiple dolphins, because their behavioral instinct is to pod up. And we all get excited when we see a super pod. So let humanity start to pod up with your soul tribe, grow, grow, grow to a super pod. And so that's my take on this energetic update for the third quarter lunar week that's moving into cycle number 2 of 13 for the zodiac year 2020. Moving on to the Taurus new moon, April 22nd on Earth Day. So exciting. And we're going to be hanging out with Uranus. It's going to be in conjunct with this new moon at 3 degrees, a discovery degree of Chiron, the wounded healer, back in 1977. Guess what the Sabian symbol is for that one? A pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And you know, my inner leprechaun's so excited. So subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram at Lunar Ladies Club and Facebook at Lunar Ladies Lifestyle Public Group. Come join us over there. Let's have some fun. Check me out on lunarladies.com, where I have offerings and all kinds of wonderful things happening. But what this is all about is keeping you in this aware state, waking up through the power of love. You are the billowing curtains being reformed into a cornucopia. So just ponder that this week, and you'll be all set to go on the new moon in Taurus, April 22nd. I'll be back then for another energy update.